it is now time for today's instalment of My Way, a political memoir by Sir Robert Muldoon, Prime Minister of New Zealand under the National Party from 1975 to 1984. And it's a wonderful book because unlike Jacinda Ardern's A Different Kind of Power, this book actually takes you inside the process of politics, albeit in a very historical context. It was written in the early 80s. And if you ever wanted to know just how soft corruption works in a country like New Zealand, I'm loving reading it and choosing the passages. I came after, there's a chapter called Inside Cabinet and Caucus, which Rob gives you an idea about how politics in those meetings works. And I just want to read you this column and how casually he admits to the bias of the government of the day. We always spend some time in caucus on appointments to boards and committees of various kinds. And it is astonishing how difficult it is to find suitable people for the wide range of opportunities that are required from week to week. With certain exceptions, where it is particularly desirable to get a spread of political or interest group opinion, we will tend to appoint a National Party supporter. So basically, Rob just openly admits, all those appointments, all those quagos, everything, we just get a mate from the National Party in there. Other things being equal. The plain fact of the matter is that on appointment, the majority of appointees forget any party affiliations they may have and will cheerfully attack the government that appointed them if the occasion demands it. So he still says they're still a bunch of bastards. We try to get a geographical spread, a spread of interests in such things as appointments to the Bank of New Zealand or the Reserve Bank boards, and a good leavening of women. A leavening of women. Rob says you've got to have some chicks. Regardless of the feminist cry that 50% of our people are women, the plain fact of the matter is that in training and in experience, women are greatly outnumbered by men in most of the areas for which we are seeking appointments. There just aren't many of them, so why bother? If this is a product of history and represents discrimination, it is nevertheless a fact. And what we are seeking are people who are capable of doing the job. So no DEI as far as Muldoon was concerned. It's great stuff. Following a change of government, we tend to replace political appointments of the previous government, but where we wish to keep a balance for other reasons, we retain them. For example, Sir Lennon Hadley, who was an appointee to the Reserve Bank Board by the Nash government, has been reappointed a number of times by successive governments. Sir Arnold Nordmeyer, who was appointee to the same board by the last Labour government, was also reappointed by the National government, as was Ted Keating, former Labour MP on the board of the Bank of New Zealand. All such appointments go to caucus for confirmation, even though in many cases the statute requires the nomination to be from a particular group associated with the board or committee. In this way, local members remain in touch with what is happening in their electorates and have a better overview of just who is conducting the affairs of the various boards, councils and committees. So a very open and brazen explanation of how political favour worked back in the day. And I'll tell you what, it is no different today. The problem today is that Chris Luxon and his new coalition did not have the wit to go through things like Television New Zealand and New Zealand On Air and get rid of all the woke nutters. They are largely still there doing the damage that they do. There'll be another reading from My Way by Sir Robert Muldoon tomorrow.